At 8 o'clock in London, 3 p.m. in Philadelphia, and all around the world, it's time for Positive Mental Attitude.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you show me the way to the airport, please? How are we doing? We alright? Let's have a look who we've got. That's, if you can hear me, that is. Let's have a look who we've got. Mandy, Kirsty, Saf, how you doing? I sure haven't missed anyone else out here. No, brilliant. Well, how are we all doing? It's that way. It's that way. Does that mean you can hear me, you can see me, you can put me in the right direction? That's good to know. Well, I've just had a notification that I am indeed live. So, I needed to know that. I really needed to know that. Hoe gaat het met mij? Alles is goed hier. Hoe gaat het in Zuid-Afrika? Right, can hear and see me, no problem. That's what we like to see. But, yeah. Where is he? We're definitely signed in. We are definitely signed in, so... Botrix, do your stuff. No doubt we'll hear from Jeff a little bit later. Di, on the other hand, maybe not yet. Maybe Di another day. You never know. Unless Di's round at Jeff's now in the cellar helping him decorate. Because he has to decorate his cellar every couple of days. Otherwise, it just gets too red. You can't see anything. There's too much blood, man. Too much blood. Yeah, Botrix, where are you, man? Yes, signed in, yes. Botrix, hello. Well, it's visible. It's supposed to be on the screen. Right, Botrix has correctly joined the channel. There we go. Hopefully now it'll start to show on the screen. There we go. There it is. Fantastic. We summon thee and thee appear. Het gaat heel goed met mij. Good to know. Yeah, I want to know. We have Botrix. I know there's other people that now use Botrix. Does that mean they are Botrixes, or are they Botrices, or does it remain one Botrix? So to this day I still don't know what it is. Is it one Botrix shared amongst us? Do we each have our own Botrix? Are we part of a Botrices family? Nobody is willing to tell me this stuff. And Kirsty, if you want to see a rabbit hole, you want to go down the Botrix Discord channel, because it is absolutely all over the place. Dummy Botrix, yes. Might well be, because they are in charge of absolutely everything by the look of it. Well dodgy. Which is why I think Jeff gets on so well with them. Mandy, you need either 7 or 107 XP to level up. You think you will have far more of an idea than I will, genuinely. But yeah, you're not far off more than I thought. It's weird because you've got the points just keep on going up and up and up. But the levels do have to be, you have to reach a certain amount of chats to get the levels moved up. And I still can't work it out. Although there seems to be lots of stuff happening with Botrix lately. They've got, they're being sort of sponsored. There's an affiliate deal with a computer building company. We can get money off if we use Botrix. We can get money off a new built computer, which is still far too bloody expensive. No worry, Kirsty. If you're back, you're back. If you're not, you're not. Thanks for turning up anyway. I appreciate that. And there's a few other things. Mini games, referrals, song requests. which I think is more aimed towards Kick and Switch, because they don't seem to give a shit. You can play any song you want on there. You link your Spotify to it, and people request songs, and you just play them while you're streaming, which is frankly bizarre. But if I'd known about that, then maybe the RDA, the podcast that I did, the music podcast, we could have done that on one of those streams, because they don't care. There's no such thing as getting a strike over there. Just do what you feel like. It's bizarre. But we're a YouTube community, so we're going to keep it real, keep it old school, man. Talking of old school, took my daughter to college today. They had an Ofsted inspection. I was going to say examination. It's not an examination, is it? It's an inspection. So they turned up and everyone had to be on their best behaviour, which is pointless. If you want to see how a college or school is doing, see how it's doing day to day. Don't see how it's doing on the day you turn up and everywhere is cleaned and smells like paint. That's not how these things work. You're going to go away thinking, oh, it's brilliant, the school's fantastic, or the college is fantastic. And then 20 minutes later, the headmaster will be writing off saying, the ceilings are falling in, paint peeling off the wall. Can you come and fix it for us? And he's like, no, it all looked great to us. Mandy, yes, I've still got a bit of a cold. It's hanging on. It's going, and I'm having loads of Lemsip to get rid of it, but it's still just hanging on. I think that must be probably down to being a bit run down because of the cold, and because I'm a bit run down, the cold is hanging on. So I might have a look at leave for work, see if I can have a couple of days off, get myself back in the game. I think I need it. Everyone in the house has been coughing and spluttering for weeks now, as has my daughter. So I get in the car with her every morning while she's coughing, sneezing, and generally full of germs. And so we're just passing it between us, and it's not good because definitely a vicious circle. I was expecting Jeff to pop up when you said that, and my dad's not been well, so we don't need it. We really don't need this this kind of cold going round. But hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully. I didn't press buttons. I was getting rid of buttons. Lots of weird stuff happening, unfortunately. Is this still working? It's on the I've got it on the phone here and it seemed to have stopped for a second. Now it's back. Happy days. Yeah, I was going to say something then and I've just completely and utterly lost the plot. But I will get there. Carlin, how are you doing? You alright? Yes, don't sneeze on the computer. You will give it a virus. We don't want that. I think we've got enough issues with viruses or issues with the computer without having a virus in there as well. Although most of that comes from Jeff. I think Jeff's middle name is Malware. Jeff Malcolm Ware. You have heating, that is fantastic news. Just in time, because I think it's going about to start getting really cold. And it will do in Wales anyway, because there seems to be... Wales seems to be a pretty cold country, to be honest. It is a Dutch football logo, and also a little Dutch flag as well there. Yes, I am repping the Dutch at the moment. That is the KNVB logo. I think I'll have to wear my FC20 shirt on one of these streams. See if I can rep the Tuckers. Mandy didn't know that you didn't have heating, but has given you a yay nonetheless. I think that's well deserved as well. Like I say, Wales, the same as northwest of England, Scotland and Ireland, very wet, very cold at times. You need heating. You can possibly get away with it a little bit further south, but we need it definitely. And there's nothing better than coming in after a really, really horrible, cold, wet day, getting into a warm house and putting dry socks on. It's the little things in life, innit? I saw the new system put in through last week. The supplier sent 2 incorrect parts, of course. Only arrived today. Isn't it just always the way? Wales is hot depending on where you are. Yes, of course. Nice beaches too. You accused me of blowing my own trumpet on the last stream. There you go, blowing your own trumpet there as well. But if you got a trumpet, may as well blow it. Fair play. It's not a pain in the arse though when people send stuff out and then incorrect parts or parts missing and you have to wait for them for ages. If someone's coming to do a job at your house or install something, you would expect them to get absolutely everything correct. Don't turn up without the stuff that you need. Right, so the Athletics Club, you remember, I've changed the colours from blue and white to orange because of Dutch tourists that visit Cape Town and fell in love with the club. I love stuff like that. There's an absolutely huge treasure trove of silly little things like that about where these things came from. Stuff that we take for granted. Especially football colours. There's one like Juventus playing black and white stripes because Notts County lent them a kit which was black and white stripes and they liked it so much they carried on using it. So now it's one of the most iconic kits in Wales football, but it came from Notts County. Boca Juniors, the famous Argentine team, they were set up by people who couldn't agree on the colours for the kit and decided to go down to the harbour in Buenos Aires on the River Plate, and they said whatever the colours of the next ship, the flag on the back of the next ship is, that's the colours that we're going to have on our kit. So the next ship that came in was registered in Sweden, which is a sort of a royalish blue with a yellow cross on it. And if you look at Boca Juniors, they now play in blue with a yellow band across it. They have had kits. I think they had one going back about 10 years ago or so. It was some like a limited edition kit which was blue, but it had a yellow cross on it as well, specifically to no man, the kit changes are not an excuse to increase merch sales all the time. You can't play in the same colours. There will be teams that play in exactly the same colours and you can't play that way. They have to be away kits. What happens now though is, even if you go to an away game, like Everton play in blue and white and we play a team that play in red, we still, a lot of the times, will play in the away kit. That is to increase the sale of those particular kits. It's stupid. But the colours are not allowed to clash at all. It used to be that the socks couldn't clash, the shorts couldn't clash and the shirts couldn't clash, so whichever combination of colours you wear had to be completely amended. Yes, the Juventus pink kit came from mixing the Notts Forest and Notts County kits to make Juventus pink. And you can't use your open fire anymore because you'd have to knock out the wall in order to remove the back boiler. That's a shame, that, man. We had an open fire in the Netherlands and the chimney went all the way through the house, but through the rooms, not through the back of it. And it was covered in metal, sort of semi-insulated metal, which you couldn't really touch because it was still bloody hot. But it used to warm up the rooms, so it was like an alternative central heating. It was absolutely fantastic. And of course, the Dutch being the Dutch, didn't have to put signs on it or stickers or railings around it. It was just stay away from the fucking hot, warm pipe. So we did. So Cape Town City used Boca Juniors style home kit for the first season. I love that kit. I must admit, I really do like that. That's one of those proper iconic world kits. Brilliant. I absolutely love that. If you have a look at the Barcelona kit, it's got a little English flag and then a Catalan flag to denominate that it's in Catalonia, but it was also formed by English people. And apparently the colours of red and blue were based on the Merchant Taylor's school kit in Crosby, just north of Liverpool, because that's where the people who formed Barcelona had originally come from. I'm not sure exactly how 100% right that is, but that is something I've read on numerous websites. Inter Milan, also started by Englishmen. AC Milan definitely are, because it's an athletic club, and they've got they've got the little St George's flag on the badge. Bologna, another one, got the cross of St George on their flags. If you have a look at lots of the Spanish clubs, Athletic Bilbao, it's not Atletico, it's Athletic, because they were formed by ship workers and steel workers who came from the UK to go and work over there in Bilbao, and they were fans of Southampton and Sunderland, who all play in the same red and white stripes, black shorts, black socks. So yeah, it's I love stuff like that, where the kits come from and the names. There's loads of British names in South America as well. I think there's an Arsenal, I think there's a few Evertons, there's a few Arsenals, a few Liverpools, unfortunately. Newell's Old Boys, all because of Brits going over to work on the railways, which is why also, if you go there, you will see loads of Scottish and Irish surnames with some very, very strange names. I mean, you've got Alexis McAllister, who now plays for Liverpool, and his dad looks like he's just come out of a pub in the Gorbals in Glasgow. Little fat ginger fella, and yet he's Argentine. It's bizarre. There's been players, swarthy looking South Americans called Jock. Doesn't work at all, but yeah. I think Inter Milan was as well. I think quite a lot of the big clubs in Europe were formed by Englishmen, just because we invented the game as we know it today, and then started taking it wherever we went. And then the people who took it away from us improved it to beyond where we were, which I think is fantastic. Fenerbahce got their name from the lighthouse light they used to train under. Fena is lighthouse and Bache is garden, which they trained in. I did not know that. I like that. That's fantastic. It's interesting to see a lot of these teams. Where did the colours come from? Where the names come from? The nicknames. We've got some really great nicknames in the UK, Scotland especially. But like Everton are called the Toffees, because there used to be a little sweet shop, just down the road from where we were formed, Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop. So we became the Toffees after that. And there's a tradition to this day where a young girl dressed in sort of 1800s costume walks around the pitch before the game, throwing Everton mints into the crowd. Which is great. Yeah, go to the Welsh tea rooms in Chubut in Patagonia and get served by Welsh-speaking Hispanics. Patagonia, of course, very famous for having lots of native Welsh speakers, to the point where it is their first language. It's not like they speak Spanish and they try and do a bit of Welsh as a sideline. Welsh is the first language, and they're interested in carrying it on. In the 70s, Jeff Hurst played for Cape Town City FC. I did not know that. Sir Jeff. That is a hell of a claim to fame, that one. Yes, interesting to me, maybe. It is. It's interesting to a lot of people. Because it's not necessarily about the game. It's about the history of things. Where the names came from. Even things like Wanderers. Any team with the name Wanderers, it meant that they had the ground where they played is in one place. Then it was in a different one, then in a different one. And then they finally settled where they are. So that's why they get called Wanderers or Rovers, because they moved around everywhere. And then you've got stuff like Preston North End, because they're in the north end of Preston. Perfect sense to me. It's not just football, it's society. It's sociology, it's all that, man. It's good stuff. But don't worry, we'll get on to effing and blinding about politics at some point. I just think it's really interesting. Ignore you after XP, fair enough. Funny shaped ball. Yeah. The Portuguese immigrants to Cape Town formed a football team and they called it Vasco da Gama, which of course is also a very famous Brazilian team. If you're going to go from Portugal and start a football club, you're going to call it Vasco da Gama. Definitely. Now the neighbourhood is called Vasco, yeah. And of course, Everton is called Everton because that's the area in which we were formed, rather than the other way around. But it's nice to see that the football team had such an impact. They now call the neighbourhood the same. Fantastic, I like that. I like how anything ends up getting named. The etymology of things. Just absolutely fascinating. I think I might have mentioned it before on here, I'm not sure, but things like the origins of the phrase sleep tight. Absolutely love that. Where it comes from the old-fashioned beds that we used to have before you had proper beds. It was just a wooden frame with rope hanging from it, loads of lengths of rope. And then you put stuff over the top of it and you'd sleep on that. And of course, weight meant that it stretched the ropes and became uncomfortable. So someone would have to come out and tighten the ropes to make it comfortable. And that's where sleep tight comes from. Yep. Trafford United. It is really, isn't it? I mean, I know they had a different name before Manchester United, didn't they? Yeah. Old Trafford. Is it actually Salford? Yeah, it was Newton Heath, wasn't it? Is Old Trafford in Salford? I know it's on the border, if nothing else. But of course, they will tell you that Manchester, Greater Manchester. But Greater Manchester wasn't Greater Manchester when they were invented. Newton Heath, yeah. Newton Heath with the yellow and green kit. The same as Norwich. Yeah, it's in the Trafford area, isn't it? And of course, you've got Old Trafford Cricket Ground just down the road from there as well. Two absolutely huge stadia in the same little area. Bizarro. Got quite a few mates in Salford. Through work. Yeah, a few steps from Salford. It's not that far away at all, is it? I know it's. We've had to go to an office that we've had in Salford, and it is just round the corner. You can pretty much see Old Trafford from where the office is. Yep, Sheffield Wednesday got the name from the cricket team. The footballers could only play on a Wednesday. Again, isn't that just a fantastic way of doing things? And the fact that they're not Sheffield Albion or Sheffield Rovers or, Sheffield Wanderers. They are a literal one-off. I think I'd much rather be that. The one and only. No one else is calling themselves Wednesday or Alexandra, like Crew Alexandra. Just great to have that one-off. Your squirrel now has one leg. Mandy, is that a euphemism? Have you had some kind of incident? Oh, you knitted one, right? Fair play. The boss looking things, squirrels. I can imagine it's going to be a fine piece of work. Yep, Nick Tuesday and Nick Sunday. Definitely got a great tale. And the nickname came from them being from Owling. Now that I didn't know. I didn't even know there was a place called Owling. That makes perfect sense. In the same way that Arsenal are called the Gunners, because they used to be Woolwich Arsenal from the south of London, where the Royal Armouries, the King's Royal Armouries were, or still are really, I suppose, aren't they? And when they moved to North London, they still carried on being called Arsenal and carried on being called the Gunners. Yes, you wish your useless facts could equal points on the log. Saf, they do. Every message that you send is another so many points on the board. It does all add up. Points make potatoes, man. Points make potatoes. Thank you to Kirsty for the idea, definitely. You have got skills, I must admit, man. You have got proper knitting skills. Not for you for Wednesday, right? Or maybe if Sheffield Wednesday would like to come on the stream and message all the way through, we can see if Botrix can add some of their points to the championship. Yeah, you'd never have thought of pom-poms. Sometimes it just needs a fresh set of eyes. Kirsty with those eyes. A flash of green eyes. And then all of a sudden, pom-poms were introduced into the mix. It sounds a bit like Jeff, that, doesn't it? A flash of evil eye and then something bizarre is thrown into the mix. Very much like him. That's his style. I've been having a look at more merch ideas today. I think I'm definitely going to do it. Not because I think I'd sell loads of stuff from the channel, but because the way I'm looking at doing it, it would be tied to an Etsy shop. So it would just end up being loads of t-shirt ideas for sale on Etsy, some of which might be connected to the channel, but hopefully see if I can do some stuff which other people wouldn't mind wearing. And if I'm going out and buying stuff like this, it's not the most difficult thing to design, is it? Although, to be fair, it is a really, really comfy t-shirt. Well made. And if you're interested, the company is called The North Curve. Do loads of football related t-shirts, of which I have quite a few now. Which I'm going to have to start rotating them, aren't I? I might do that. I might redo my wardrobe and have them set up in the line. Start at one end and work my way through to the other. Oh, it's still warm now, isn't it? Bizarrely, I know the heating's on, but it's still bloody hot. Right, so now that they've finished wrecking the house, you can go back to jams and chutney making. That's what we like to see. A nice chilled environment makes for a sweeter jam. Yep, Cape Town City shirt, definitely. And then we can I normally have shirts on display all around the room, which I still do actually. FC20, there's a signed Everton shirt there, signed by Duncan Ferguson, one of my all-time heroes. There's a Lionel Messi Barcelona signed shirt down there. Shine shirt. Simply sensational. And I think my Sport Club one's back in the wardrobe, but I might have to sign that myself. The plant has not lost its foliage completely, but it is going. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is starting to lose it. I think the combination of the heat and then cold and then not getting enough sun starting to have its impact. Even though I am giving them water when I'm supposed to, which doesn't seem to be working. Pumpkin chutney and chili jam first out of the blocks this week is right. But of course there'll be lots of spare pumpkin around, won't there? Chili jam. I've only tasted chili jam once, and funny enough it was from North Wales. And bizarrely enough, it was in work, and I work with some absolute filth. Horrible boys. Each trying to outdo each other with how much chili we could eat and things. And we ended up eating this chili jam from North Wales, spread on Jaffa cakes in the office. Oh man, bizarre. That was the same day that someone had a spoonful of Dave's chili sauce, which was ghost chili, and then ended up having to go home sick. Yeah, for a moment I started sounding like Sean Connery. Absolutely sensational. Jelly bean jam. Is that an idea, or is that like a record company? Are they the West Coast equivalent of Def Jam? Is Def Jam West Coast or East Coast? I don't know. I don't want to start a turf war either. Got to be careful with that. I don't want a 6-pack you sure turning up, do I? Got 2 pumpkins out your garden. Very nice. What have we got in ours? Bugger all, but it got its last mowing. It was last week, so it's still looking fairly nice. The front and back look really good. We have gardeners come out, obviously. How terribly gauche. Yes, I do work from home at the moment. This is going back a while ago. Back when the office was full of people of evil repute. Great lads, but dodgy. Used 1/3 Scotch bonnets this year. I've used Ghost Chili in it in the past. I had the Naga Jalokia, which at the time was the hottest chili in the world. I think it was before the Carolina Reaper and the other weird stuff that's come since. And that was bad enough. Instead of mashing it up like any sensible person would, I sliced it and put it on a pizza. And it took me 4 pints of ice cold milk out the fridge before I could stop crying. It was ridiculous. Too hot. Far too hot. There's no need for chilies to be that hot. Yes, man, it's looking like you needed more than 7 points. Unless he's decided to kick me out, has he? No. Still logged in, so it must have been more than 7 points. Just have to keep on chatting and see what happens. You don't do chili. Food isn't supposed to hurt. Not all chilies hurt. And the thing about chili, it releases endorphins in the same way that chocolates do as well. And it's the feeling and the aftertaste with chilies for me. Once the heat calms down a little bit, you get a flavour that you can't get anywhere else. It's amazing. Yeah, the Scotch bonnets heat counterbalance the sweetness of the sugar well. Scotch bonnets as well have got a really nice taste, despite the fact that they are pretty pretty hot. They've got a really nice flavour to them. Some other chilies, there's no flavour at all. It's just all out heat, which is not good. What does it look like you're doing? Holding up an invisible rock. Yeah, you stick to chocolate, thanks. Fair play. Have you tried chili chocolate? The fire noodles you ate at the weekend made you slightly hallucinate. I had some of those dodgy noodles that come from some bizarre back street in Japan or China. The ones that got warnings on them. There's not a word of English in there apart from warning, may burn your face off. It's like, yeah. I had them and the same thing. In fact, I should try them again because now it would kill every single germ in my body. Use the mild chilies in your brownies on with lime. Chili and lime works really well together, doesn't it? That sounds good, I like that. You can use lime with a lot of things and it works quite well. Chilies though especially. Very complimentary. That's an abomination, same as salted caramel. Salted caramel in theory is good. And occasionally I've had something that tastes really good. But it is completely overused and caramel's better without salt. Although, I've had, my mate used to have a pinch of, or a little tiny bit of salt in his coffee, which I'm sure Adam would go mental about if he was here. But he just said it's the same, it's seasoning, the same thing as anything. Don't think I'm putting a full spoon of it in, it's just a little tiny bit. And it's enough to season the coffee. I was like, alright, yeah, fair enough, you lunatic. But he also used to put black pepper on strawberries. And I did try that, and it is a fantastic idea. Chili lime chocolate. Yeah, that's, I remember chili lime chocolates. We had them in work as well, I think. There's a place in Cape Town that has a signature dish called chili chocolate steak. There's a lot going on in there. A hell of a lot. And again, Mandy sticks to chocolate, yeah. Find what you like and stick with it. No need to go chasing hallucinations from food. Balsamic vinegar on strawberries. I can imagine that works well. Because it certainly works well on baby tomatoes and things, doesn't it? It'll probably bring out the actual strawberry flavour. Balsamic vinegar is really nice, especially if you have to mix it with a bit of olive oil first. Otherwise, a lot of it's too thick. We don't want that. Nice on a good salad. Not that there is a good salad. Balsamic vinegar on roasted figs is divine. That again, that sounds quite highbrow, that one, doesn't it? That's the kind of thing you'd probably get in restaurants. And by the sound of it, would be easy enough to do yourself. Another leveling up to level 3, brilliant, well in there. You were an amazingly fussy eater until about 20 years ago. Wouldn't have entertained a chili before that time. I think people's taste buds change completely through their life. I mean, there's not many kids who like mushrooms, possibly because of the texture. It's quite gloopy at times, aren't they? The kids don't like stuff like that. But most adults do tend to like mushrooms rather than the other way around. Just everyone, you change, you get ready for stuff when you get older, I think. Stole the recipe from YouTube, that's fair enough, that. There's no stealing from YouTube, it's just it's repurposing. Just say it was reaction content. Fig Newtons put you off figs for life. I don't mind a Fig Newton, although we don't call them Fig Newtons over here, do we? We have the more dour fig biscuits. I quite liked them. I don't know why I liked them. I think it might be Christmas. They were in a hamper that my nan had. It's the first time I can remember them. But I remember liking them. I remember your family spinning in the graves at what you eat now. Given how often they tried to get you to eat stuff as a kid. Yep, exactly. All that stuff that you try and get you to eat. I'm not having that, I'm not having that, I'm not having that. Years later, you will pay to go and eat in a restaurant. It is ridiculous. You still eat mushrooms, yeah. Some people do. Again, it's the texture, isn't it? I've heard people refer to them as the snotty. Yeah, well, not all of them are, but in general, you seem to find that kids don't like mushrooms, adults tend to like them, on average. But everything changes. Again, I can eat omelettes and I can eat scrambled eggs. I can eat things with egg in it, cakes and what have you. But I can't eat boiled, poached or fried eggs because I would just throw up on the spot. And I'm convinced it was down to being force-fed boiled eggs when I was a very, very ill and small child. Which it seems to have worked because I am huge, but don't like them. Yeah, kids have immature taste buds. So some things taste vile, they do. And it is about developing. I've got a mate in work as well who doesn't believe there's any such thing as you can develop a taste for things. It's like, you can. You definitely can. Because every one of us that went out for our first pint, you don't really necessarily like the taste of it. And yet years later, you love the taste of beer. Because you do develop, there is such a thing as an acquired taste. And it will be the same with mushrooms. Some people don't like them. But you develop that flavour for them. As a kid, your sole veg was potatoes. Very Celtic. Very Celtic of you. Saf, no worries, mate. Thanks a lot for turning up. You be good as well. Man, you love mushrooms, yes. Good to hear. Some taste is based on fashion. It is, definitely. Salted caramel being one of them. As soon as some people start to hear that it's popular, they're all at it. That's just stupid. Is it really that nice? Something sweet, lash a load of salt in it. Doesn't always work. Although the Black's salted caramel chocolate, my mum got me a thing for Christmas once, a little selection of tasters, little small chocolates. The salted caramel one from them was genuinely gorgeous. I really liked that. Yeah, chat to you tomorrow, Saf, don't worry, mate. Have a good evening. Day, evening, yeah. You're ahead of us, aren't you? Way ahead of us. Have a good day tomorrow instead, rather, I mean. Yeah, there's just trends. We mentioned it in the last stream. Trends are not good. Trends are evil. It forces people into doing things they don't necessarily want to do themselves, but they want to look in with the crowd, look to be doing the right things. Does anyone actually like olives? Olives, what? I don't like her glasses. Yes, and it all depends on which olives. The black and the green olives are completely different. That was a bit of a dad joke, wasn't it? But it couldn't be a dad joke because no kids would know what on the buses is. I don't mind olives. But then I'm a bit weird, I suppose, aren't I? I drink Earl Grey with my little fingers sticking out. I write poetry. I believe I'm Rick Mail. It's obvious I was on like weird food as well. I drink dolphin-friendly Earl Grey with almond milk and sweetener. Because why wouldn't I? I didn't have a coffee today though. and I should have done. And that's the place to get it. Charcoal Coffee Company. The link is in the description. Fantastic stuff. You'd rather have a grape. Could you crush a grape? Yeah. In the past, I'd rather have a grape, or quite a few of them, squashed into a bottle, which has caused me problems. Olives are good for us, though. Good olive oil. Healthy. I mean, they keep on telling us, don't they, the best diet for us is the Mediterranean diet. And yet every time I've been to the Mediterranean, it's fish and chips. And when I go to the Mediterranean, it's always, Benidorm and what have you. Right, you showed your age earlier. Posted an article about one of the numpties from the weekend getting arrested. He was from Surbiton, and you said Margot would be livid. I was only watching that about 5 minutes before I came on the stream. I love The Good Life, really do. It was the one with the two students, Guy and Ruth, was it? Guy was that really earnest millionaire's son. Brilliant. Margot is an absolutely incredible character, an absolute tour de force. Don't know, Mandy. I haven't got a clue how many points you need, Mandy. It might be like compound interest. You might think you're going to the next level, but it takes even more. The Guru of Surbiton, that's the one. Brilliant. Again, my comfort in familiarity is stuff like that. During the day or the early evening, throw that on and I can relax and just ignore everything else that's going away or going on in my life. I am gonna have to do a full rundown of comfort in familiarity programs, because Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister are in there as well. Stuff that when they're on, I know every word to every episode, and I can switch off, relax, and laugh me arse off while at the same time chilling. Wonderful things. They had The Good Life. The good thing about Gold, I think it's on, isn't it? They will show it. They get to the end and just go back to the start and keep on repeating it constantly. And it doesn't matter if I get to the start again. I will start watching it. It's like an old pair of slippers. Mandy, you were watching Star Trek Voyager. Similar thing, I suppose, wouldn't it, for you? If you find that sort of relaxing to switch your brain off to and just get into it. We all need that. And I need it, especially as we've got a through front room. So my mum and dad are down one end with their telly and I'm down my end with my telly. I've got headphones that are aware listening to my telly, so it doesn't bleed into each other. But I can still hear the shit that they're watching. And from the second you wake up, it's just ITV1 and it's all bullshit. All the news, the political stuff is all rubbish. So I have to have something on to veg out to. Yeah, MASH is on constant repeat on Great TV. Has been for at least a decade. Yeah, I watch that every night on Great TV. Just get to the end, start again, and carry on going and going and going. It's background noise to knit into. That's what you need. And you'll be able to follow what's going on without having to concentrate too hard. It's perfect. That sounds like in fact, that should be an BBC4 wellness kind of thing. It's just Mandy watching Star Trek or Voyager or Next Generation and knitting away. So click, and the occasional for fuck's sake. Brilliant. If the BBC are watching, you can take that idea. Oh, we're starting to get a bit Mork and Mindy out there now. It was mild. It was nice. It was quiet. It was still. It's not now. You don't click needles. Oh, have I offended you with that, have I? Are you more skilled than that? In total control. Silent needling. Like a well-oiled machine. Now I'm thinking that you're going to start trying to stab me with them like Nanageddon in The Mighty Boosh. You're going to have to watch that episode, actually. Your bones click more than your needles. I know that feeling well. To the point where I have to have me blanket in the car for when I'm parked outside anywhere waiting for people. You go on Now TV and watch Open All Hours, Good Life, often just random episodes all the time. Yeah, I'm exactly the same on Gold or Dave or whatever things are on. Open All Hours, Good Life, Porridge, any of those things. Rise and Damp, just fantastic. And it's brilliant watching all the American reactors going through stuff that we grew up with that they would never have heard of, and then finding it absolutely incredible. I mean, watching EB watch Open All Hours and Rise and Damp especially, and Still Game, just watching them absolutely lose it are things that I know brilliant. I know inside out. I think it's absolutely superb. I love watching that. Oh, where's Horace? Let's have a look. There he is. I still haven't sorted him out with a theme tune yet. I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? We'll have to find a way of doing it that doesn't end up getting me copyright struck. Anyway, please don't tell Kippers, but I've sold all his records. I don't like Take That. Does he like Take That? Seriously? Kippers, Take That. I thought you were more, I don't know, heavy metal, new metal, gun metal. And that's Jeff gun metal, isn't it? Just thought you were a bit more heavy than that. I know, obviously, Horace, you're into your acid skiffle. Yeah, surprised with you there, Kippers. You can Take That. Horace on demand. Don't be giving him a big head if he thinks he's on demand. Horace does have taste. Horace is a bird of distinction. A real big spender. No, that was Jimmy Nail, wasn't it? Dinner Ladies for more modern stuff. Dinner Ladies I just can't get into at all. I think I've mentioned this on a previous stream. I've got a slight issue with Victoria Wood. She's an absolute genius, a genuine absolute genius of a writer and a performer. But she treads that line, the Alan Bennett line, between sounding naturalistic and working so hard to sound naturalistic that it sounds completely fake. There was an advert on, is it Gold, where you're doing a series, a full season of Victoria Wood programmes, and people getting interviewed said Victoria's writing is like music. And I said, well, yeah, well, that's not how people talk. You don't talk with that rhythm. That's not natural at all. If you're doing it, you can write it that way. But when you do start doing it that way and you get into the rhythm and it does sound like it's musical, it sounds completely unnatural as speech. So for me, that's the thing that she used to tread the line about all the time, where it was just, sometimes it veered into it sounds just overly, like she spent 6 hours deciding exactly which biscuit, what brand of biscuit, what type of biscuit to put into a punchline. No, go with the one that made sense to you first time out and just put it down. Yeah, modern compared to The Good Life, it is. What was the one with John Alderton? Was it called My Wife Next Door? I can't remember. I remember him being in a sitcom with someone next door. I can't remember what it was called. What was his actual wife in it as well? Let's have a look. Yeah. I know he was married to Pauline Collins, wasn't he? Was she in that as well? Let's have a look on IMDb. This could take a while though, because he's been in absolutely everything, hasn't he? He was in Fireman Sam as well. Good Welsh programme. No. When was it? Was it the 70s or the 80s? Forever Green? No. Thomas and Sarah? No. Yeah, My Wife Next Door. There you go, it was. Right, who was in there? Oh, it was Hannah Gordon, right. John Alderton and Hannah Gordon. I did not know that. I saw the first episode of Fresh Fields the other week. I can't remember if that was funny or not. I'll have to go back and look at it. Sam Tan, yep. Fireman Sam, in Welsh. Daniel, how you doing, mate? Fireman Sam, didn't it go a bit weird? I know someone accused it of going woke, which I love that. A kid's cartoon character has gone woke. Botox, yep. Cheers to Botox. Botox is keeping a stiff upper lip at the moment. Yeah, has the Lego turned up yet? By Lego, do you mean the injection mould plastic bricks from Denmark? Or Hadoui's dog? More than super busy? Yeah, I thought you looked as if you'd have been, to be honest with you. I know the feeling, only my super busy has been falling asleep on the sofa and then driving everyone round every 5 minutes. Different kind of super busy. You can see how many times you're uploading stuff. You must be absolutely run off your feet at the moment. And that's without family as well. Jeez. I don't know how you do it. I genuinely don't. I just piss about on this, don't I? Couple of streams a week. Let AI do all me little shorts from the streams. And I'm still struggling to fit it all in. It's ridiculous. Mandy, it's not. You just need to. You need to chat more. Which I know sounds bizarre because you never shut up in a good way. Yeah, but again, Botrix is just, it makes the rules up as it goes along. It must do. I mean, there's options. Monster builds. That was the name of that thing earlier on. Bleeding monster builds. Get support and documentation. And yet when you go on get support, there's nothing there. I think you managed to get through to the hamster who's working the wheel. Daniel, Botrix will level you up any second now, I can see that. He'll probably do it just to annoy the life out of Mandy by the sound of it, because that's how Botrix is. You drove to Aberfour's distillery earlier. That was the extent of your exertions today. That sounds like more than enough exertions. And a lovely place to drive to, Aberfour's. I got up at stupid o'clock. I've been getting up earlier than I should do, and taking my daughter to college and what have you. Got up the other day because I needed to go for a pee, and made myself a cup of tea and sat on the sofa, and when I looked up it was 6:15 in the morning. So I don't need to be up for another hour and a half. Why am I getting up early? But there you go. Have I seen how blue the chat is? The colour, not the content. Does it look blue on the screen for you? Doesn't look blue to me. But blue to me is everything. The sweetest song that I can sing. Yeah. No, it's just, on the screen it doesn't look blue. It is funny though. Say the other week I was watching Harris Heller, very famous YouTuber and Twitch streamer, who was talking to the CEO of Twitch, and now you're allowed to simulcast or simul stream, whatever it is, to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which you couldn't do in the past. But you're not allowed to use bot tricks to get all the chat together. So Harris, being Harris, decided to stream on YouTube and Kick at the same time while talking to the CEO of Twitch, and he had bot tricks on his screen with all the three chats combined. So seeing someone else using it just looked bizarre but really familiar. Not everyone seems to like bot tricks as much as I do. I think it's fantastic stuff. Man used to live in the farmhouse up on the right as you're going towards the falls. It's all sounding a bit Heathcliff, that, doesn't it? I can hear Kate Bush singing in the background. Heathcliff, oh it's me, it's Mandy. It's nice. If anyone who's not been to North Wales, go and check out Aber Falls. In fact, check out the whole of North Wales. It's superb. You're going to have to try and sort out Spencer when he arrives. Make sure he goes and has a look at some of what North Wales has to offer as well. Not just bleeding London. I have to say that every time we have a stream. Anyone fancy going halves on a pizza? My dole money hasn't come through yet. Jeff. That sounds a little bit sad, that really, isn't it? Poor old Jeff. As you said the other day, nearly bought Saw Chapel in Abergwyngregin. But COVID put the end to that. Yeah. Abergwyngregin. Buy your own pizza, Jeff. Yes, buy your own pizza, Jeff. Actually, speaking of which, we'll have to go and see what Jeff's up to. He joined the Freemasons, all a bit weird if you ask me. Yeah, there was initiation ceremony in his yard. I ended up on a playing card in a casino in Fiji. My days as a fireman, I sometimes didn't know whether I wanted to start them or put them out. Yeah, he's an evil, evil swine. Dodgy. He is dodgy. Although he's trying to, by the sound of it, he's trying to ingratiate himself with the stream, isn't he? Anyone fancy going halves on a pizza? You know, as if, can we please be friends? Nah, not having it, Jeff. You evil scrote. We're not having it. Don't think you can come round here getting round us with pepperoni. It's not happening. I'm going to have to Google Saw Chapel as well, aren't I? Let's have a butcher's. Saw Chapel does sound like a euphemism used in a gay club, though, has to be said. Here we go. Images. All right. That looks smart, that, like. That would make a heavy looking house, that, like. Lady Masons use the conference room in a hotel you worked at. Lady Masons. They're related to James Mason. Not pineapple anchovies. No. Not having that. Not saying they were dodgy, but yes, so obviously they were dodgy. Lady Masons. Again, it sounds like a euphemism. I have the Lady Masons in. They always ask for a jug of ice water and 3 spoons. They are up to no good whatsoever. Absolutely, definitely. What would you need that for? A jug of ice water and 3 spoons. Unless you had Alanis Morissette coming round. And she only had 9,997 spoons. I was trying to write a song. Beyond that, I've got no idea. Yeah, don't ask. You don't want to know. When someone says that to you, you don't want to know. Take the word for it, because there is a good chance that you don't want to know what's going on. It's specifically 3 spoons. Yeah. Or maybe one of them is just... One of them might have been a rapper. They call me like Jimmy Tree Spoons, you know what I mean, fam? And that was her shtick. Always had 3 spoons. Could be that. I mean, obviously, it's the chance of it being that very, very slim, but you never know, it could be that. What the use of some kind of ceremony? No, actually, yeah, don't ask. Don't ask. Did the mafia use spoons when they're having their little join in the club ceremony? I know they prick a little bit of blood, don't they? Pour it onto a saint and then set fire to the card. Is a spoon involved for that? Have we got Lady Mason Mafia? Yeah, I'm not surprised he didn't ask. It could have been absolutely disgusting. Mad. I don't get Masons, Freemasons, all that shit. Don't understand it. I read a book about it called The Brotherhood about the Freemasons. I understand it with certain types of men. They love keeping secrets. Again, Billy Connolly, I think, did a bit on that. Don't make me look a tit, but they're going to tell me a secret. That's quite a male thing. Dress up in weird clothing and go through initiation ceremonies, but they will tell you the secret, so you know things that other people don't know. Dodgy handshakes. Yep. On the square. Very dodgy. I wonder what happens if they go to a non-Mason and start trying to do a handshake. Does the other person just go, "What are you doing, dickhead? Get off me"? Does it feel like you're being played with? I don't know. You'd have to know, wouldn't you, in advance that someone was a Mason to start touchy-feeling in the hand. Otherwise it would just look really, really dodgy. Get off me hand and stop calling me brother, you freak. Or sister, in that case. That is an exceptionally fantastic thing that I bought. Thermos travel mug. To keep me tea warm. But it keeps it too warm. It's ridiculous. 7 hours after you've made it, it still burns the face off you. Must have lost it during COVID, not knowing who you're allied with. Yeah, I can imagine that. And not being able to go into big halls, big drafty halls, and slap each other's bare asses with planks of wood. That's what Masons do, isn't it? Or have I watched the wrong films? Oops. I don't know what it is. There's always something dodgy about them. The whole concept of doing each other favours. I mean, that's what the current government is anyway. Don't need to be Freemasons for that shit. But that's, yeah. Why should you be given preferential treatment just because you're part of a gang with someone? Ridiculous. And it's always the ones who've already got all the money that don't need any more of it that end up getting more and more and more and more and more. No, not having it. The revolution will come. Masons, though, I bet they still partied, definitely. There you go, Mandy, you moaning sod. Talked your way into that one, haven't you? Cried that one in. Right, have a look at what points you got then. How many was it? Was it exponentially? How many points did you end up getting? How many did it take? Level 14. Well, like Neil Armstrong and Captain James Tiberius Kirk, you have gone where no man has gone before, boldly, mind you. Level 14, you're the first person to reach it. Fair play to you. Fair play indeed. Congratulations. It took you a while. But just think, the only reason why you reached 14 was talking about the Masons. Maybe they're in control. Maybe they're the ones who pushed Botrix to give you the extra level. Have you ever thought of that? You're now in cahoots with the Masons, man. Dodgy. You look or I'll have to leave the stream. Right, well, I can't look otherwise. I'd have to leave the stream, and if I leave it, there is no stream, is there? But it's a fix, yes. It is. Wasn't that a song by the Pet Shop Boys? Oh no, it's a sin, isn't it? Yeah, keep chatting to earn points. See, Botrix just jumped in there straight afterwards, straight after Barnsey, as if to say, no, this is all above board. Mandy's definitely been funny handshaking Botrix and providing 3 spoons and a jug of iced water. That seems to have tickled Botrix's pickle. He must like that. That is still face meltingly hot. That's ridiculous. But worth getting older one. Those days where I was sat outside the hospital, I'd make one at 7 in the morning, leave the house at 20 past and pick my sister up, get to the hospital at about 5 past 8, and then I'd be there for an hour. Me blanket in the back of the car, thermos of tea, decent tunes on the radio, or on Spotify anyway. Made it okay. Yep. Bot wishes. He does. You're doing well today. A new level and a one-legged squirrel. That's a hell of a lot of work going on there. Barnsey, yep. Did you see the thumbnail for this, Barnsey? The unknown Pennines, which is something I am very, very proud of. Instead of being the Pulsar, Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures picture, it is the Pennines. It's a relief curve map of the Pennines, which I think looks rather good. And as if by magic, Barnsley appears, and as does the rain. Manchester in the house and ting. Yeah, if you chat more, you level up more. Mandy's alright saying that now that she's just levelled up. Before this, she was moaning, crying, I've not levelled up yet. But yeah, everyone's got loads of points. Thousands upon thousands of points. Even I have. And actually, I do. You might be right, you know. I think there might be some chicanery going on because I am level 6 and I've got 4,685 points. I suppose the points are going to be high for me because I am here for every second of every stream as Botrix. But yeah, he's leveled up as well. Bizarre. You're working out the levels. You are doing a sterling effort as well at trying to work out what the levels are. Seeing as though you can look, you can Google it, you can ask Bing, you can do all kinds of weird shit, and nowhere will tell you how it works. You just log into it and hope for the best. Which pretty much seems my kind of life, to be honest, at the moment. Wake up, log into it and hope for the best. Yeah. But he's not on Instagram, just OnlyFans. There's not much difference between the two at times, to be honest with you. As if you go to the search option on Instagram, all it is just young girls in various states of undress advertising their OnlyFans accounts. I mean, fair play, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I know when I first signed up for Instagram, there used to be loads of really interesting stuff on there. And then it went to everyone's dinner. And then everyone was just in Dubai. And now it's just, crazy. Mind you, TikTok's the same as well, isn't it? Just seems to be, yeah. Lots of places just seem to be people advertising their wares on other off-platform sites. Points of a time watched, of course, I've got loads, yes, because a couple of minutes into every stream, Botrix kicks in and then he's there for the rest of it. So he will have thousands upon thousands of points. But he doesn't. You haven't got that in your Insta feed. It's not in the Insta feed. My feed hasn't got it either because I don't follow them. But if you go on search, and the reason why I was searching is, the new, the Grand Tour, Clarkson, Hammond and May, the new episode should be coming out soon. And Andy Willman. Oh, what's happened there? The producer always puts teasers on his Instagram channel, but I don't like watching all the other stuff that he puts on, so I don't follow him. I just occasionally search for his name to see if it's up there or not. And when you do go on search, it's just full of scantily clad ladies. You don't need to follow them for that to just appear. 6 more working days to get off for a week, you jammy sod. Yeah, you going anywhere? Have you got any plans? Anything you want to share with us? Or are you and Jeff going to take a shovel and get rid of the evidence? Is that what it is? Just to the kitchen, finishing off the jams and chutneys for the season. Yep. It's fair enough that if you've got time off, you don't necessarily need to be doing anything spectacular. Anything that can help you relax, and making jams and chutneys, I would think, would be really, really chilled. Deny everything, best thing to do. Let Jeff take the fall. The evil, demonic shite talk that he is. wish I could do something like that. Not berry bodies, I mean make jams or chutneys. But I can't. I bought my daughter a guitar for Christmas and it arrived today, and my mum had to bring it in because I was on the sofa anyway, but there's no way in it I'd be able to pick up the box that it comes in. Just ridiculous. Can't do anything. I mean, getting there, definitely getting there. There's improvements, but it's a pain in the arse. New Call of Duty came out. I had one game so far, a team deathmatch, and we won. My kill death ratio was about 0.75, when normally it's closer to 2. So obviously I'm not doing well, but I am playing one-handed, so I'd suggest that that's not bad. I need to do that more. Plead headaches, yeah. Now then, Kev, how you doing, mate? Barnesy, the guitar she wanted, which she wasn't sure I was going to get it because she thought it was too much money, is an Epiphone J200 EC. So it's a semi-acoustic, or electro-acoustic rather. And I think it's one that possibly Noel Gallagher has played in the past, which is why she seems to like it. But it's a gorgeous looking guitar. And I got the money, so I'm quite happy to get it for her, even though she's a little bit, wasn't sure, didn't think I was going to get it because it was going to cost too much, but it's not. I'm quite happy for her to have something that she's going to get real benefit from. So yeah, I'm delighted with that, and I can't wait to see her play it and to hear her play it. It's funny, she sent me a couple of WhatsApp messages, just sound recordings of her playing Oasis songs, and considering where she came from with that, it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. You forgot to feed the Christmas cake. Hurry up and get it sorted. And do you have to give it a stir as well now? Mandy made sorbet once. Does it count? It always counts. Sorbet's fantastic. Or sorbet, if you ask people who watch a lot of Sooty. Mandy, she knows about it. I said to her, I'll get you it. No, it's too much. So I just sent her, and I got the confirmation email come through yesterday. So I took a screenshot of it and then sent it to her. At which point she was slightly, not teary, but overwhelmed by it. A bit emotion. And I told her when I picked her up from college earlier, your guitar's arrived. And again, she was slightly emotional. But she's that age now where 17, it's not like I'm going to buy her something that she doesn't know. It's going to be, what do you want? And again, she thought she was asking for too much, but she really wasn't. I'm quite happy with that. And it does look fantastic. I will make sure that on Christmas, when she unwraps it and starts playing it, I'll get a couple of pictures and I'll throw it up on RDA on Instagram, but also because the people here haven't all got Instagram, on one of the streams I'll put a picture up as well. Cake is made just regular brandy infusion until the second week of December, right? Yes, she has got an amp. Last Christmas, me and George Michael, I bought a Yamaha Pacifica electric guitar, which she wanted. Again, it was her choice. She could have had something else, but she wanted that particular guitar. And I got an amp to go with it and a distortion pedal just to annoy her mum. And it seems to work wonders. So she's still carrying on with that. She's got the little dichotomy at the moment of where she's wannabe rock chick, but also she loves doing fake nails. And she times it where she can wear nails for a week, then take them off and play guitar for 2 weeks, and then puts nails back on for a week. So it's that nice combination of both. But she loves playing, absolutely loves playing guitar, and is getting much better at it as well. I'm just annoyed that I can't use my hand at the moment, so I can't show her how to play certain songs, or we can't jam. I've got all the recording equipment. We could make loads of tunes, but Still can't for the time being. Will eventually. As soon as my hand's working alright, I'm going to buy a bass. I can program drums, I can play guitar, got my keyboard. Should be able to start making some whack ass music. Right, you think your mate's got one? He's got about 10. I've got a Squier Telecaster which I've not been able to play in ages, unfortunately, and it's there next to me sofa, mocking me for being a explodey brained, melty faced bastard. Yeah, you can't be eating it; it would kill you. Oh, you got the yeah, allergic to alcohol, aren't you? Seen that earlier on. Oh, well. Can Jess do Horace's theme tune? I could ask her. I mean, obviously, it would be better if it was me who did it because I am one of the great songwriters of my generation. But, yeah. She hasn't got round to writing music yet, and I've just said to her, at some point, you will. You'll make a mistake playing someone else's song, and it'll sound better. And then you'll keep on doing that, and then you'll turn it into your own song. And then before you know where you are, you'll be writing hundreds of the buggers. And you'll have notebooks all around the house, like I have, full of them. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for it to play a first ever home written song. I can write it. I could write it. I would need to pick a guitar up to write it though. And I don't write squiggly music shit. When I write things, I pick a guitar up and just start playing. Or occasionally a song will come to me fully formed. Not in a Paul McCartney way. Just a couple of things will trip things in my mind, and then I'll sort of have an idea. And then when I sit down, I'll be able to start working on something that makes sense in my head. Usually I can, if I wanted to, I could just sit down, give myself half an hour, and I can come up with at least one song, lyrics and full music. And it's annoying that I'm not able to do that at the moment because of my hand being knackered. Just that being able to create, I miss that so much. I love doing this. I love making videos and things. And it's a nice escape, a nice outlet. But it's not the same as picking a guitar up and just creating something from scratch. So I am missing that a bit. Make yourself a Madeira cake, yep, with freeze-dried strawberry powder in it. Sounds good to me. You on which she can play it. Could do. That'd be a good way of seeing how her ear training is going as well. You really need to learn to play your harp. Again, is that a euphemism, or do you actually have a harp? Is it a proper harp, or is it the blues harmonica harp? Do you know, funnily enough, I've only ever seen harp being played once, or in one place rather, over a weekend, and that was in Llandudno, it's the Grand Hotel. It was one of the huge hotels on the front. And me and the ex-wife we went into the bar to get a drink, and there was a harp recital going on, and everyone was wearing cummerbunds and things, and we were like, I was wearing my Adidas trainees. I thought, we'll have one quick pint and get out because we are completely underdressed for this. But yeah, someone sat in there playing the harp, piano and harp. What on earth is going on? Got a 36 string harp. Very nice. I wouldn't even know where to start with one of them, despite the fact that I can pick up pretty much any stringed instrument and give you a song out of it. The harp would not be one of them. 36 strings in a format that just makes no sense. It is obviously, it's like a piano, isn't it? Really. an up-tilted piano without any hammers on it. You're tickling them. No, can't get used to it. Your nan used to make fruit cakes, but you didn't like the fruit, so you always got your own plain sponge. A deleted fruit cake. You follow a harpsist on Insta. Fair play to you. Did I say in one of my videos that one of the physios that used to come out and see me in the house, Vicky, lovely, lovely girl, she told me one day that she was a flugelhornist, plays the flugelhorn. I have never ever in my life ever not only met a flugelhornist, I've never even thought about a flugelhornist. I've never considered the fact that someone could be a flugelhornist. To then have a flugelhornist in the house talking to me about playing the flugelhorn was quite mind-blowing, which is not what I needed after the stroke. I don't need to be mind-blown. I've had enough of that. 9. Alright, smart ass. 9. Maybe that's where we get nan and nin from in Liverpool. One grandmother's your nan, the other one's your nin. I know my dad's grandmother is from Wales, or was from Wales. Obviously she's no longer with us. That side of the family was Welsh. Would possibly suggest that's where the red hair would come from. 9. We learn something. Like I said, we always learn something in these streams. We learn we've got a harpist. You don't need to follow a harpist on Insta. We've got one within us. It's a right-hander and you're a lefty. Does that make any difference? Because you're not actually... It's not like you're strumming. Mind you, every piano in the world is the same. There's not a left-handed or right-handed piano. My daughter's left-handed. And she plays right-handed guitar because I just told her what you learn. How you learn is how you learn. It doesn't matter. If someone shows you how to play left-handed, you'll learn left-handed. And we've got loads of guitars in the house. So if she plays right-handed, she can just go and pick up any guitar in the house and play it. And also, part of me thinks that if you strum with your less dominant hand on a guitar, it's better because you need less flexibility with your non-dominant hand. Whereas playing your chords and playing lead especially, you need a huge amount of strength and dexterity, which you don't necessarily have in your bad hand. But yeah, everyone plays piano the same. The left is always the Jules Holland boogie woogie hand, and the right plays the lead and the high chords. Bizarre. Right, so it's about what hand you use to play chords and what hand you use to play melody. So the left hand, I'm suggesting, would play the chords on the lower end of the harp, and the right would play the fludely, play the melody, right? Fair enough. But if you learn normal, it'd still work, I reckon. I'm confused anyway. But fair play, if you got a harp, just learn to play. Some bizarre instruments. I know there's a harpist on YouTube, isn't there? Who does reactions. He's a classical harpist. Does reactions to modern day or rock music and stuff. And bizarre. She seems to love some really piss easy music and then hates really complex and interesting music. I think there's a hint of snobbery about what she does. Used to play the piano in a style of Les Dawson. Yeah, we've got a thing that whenever anyone plays guitar and it's a wrong note, It's are they playing a Gibson Les Dawson instead of a Gibson Les Paul? So yeah, we know him well. He did manage to get a tiny bit of Beethoven's Ninth. Oof, very nice. Dara O'Brien plays a harp, does he? Mind you, he's a clever sod, isn't he? Being Irish, do you like a bit of harp? Normally it's in a glass, isn't it? See, Data O'Brien, are you mixing your metaphors here? Is this part Irish stand-up, part Star Trek? Is that what this is? All the right notes, yep. Not necessarily in the right order. Again, one of the greatest things in British comedy history has to be with Mr. Andrew Preview. I'm walking with my eyes, man. It doesn't matter how old you are. He plays it with his lad, does he? Dara. Well, when you say his lad, do you mean his son or his actual lad? His Langer. Oh yeah. Did he do a stand-up bit about that, did he? About whacking his lad off it. Yeah, not referring to his son. Yeah. He's after getting his lad out. Mr. Preview. Brilliant. How on earth they managed to get someone as high profile and as serious as Andre Previn to just turn up and let himself be humiliated and give his absolute all into doing it speaks volumes for how much Morecambe and Wise were loved. And to this day, I think it's probably the best thing he ever did, didn't it? Probably played with the London Symphony Symphony Orchestra and things like that. And yet, Morecambe and Wise is still the greatest thing on his CV. Mock the Week. Was it? I haven't seen Mock the Week in ages. Not since he started putting people on who are not funny and who I don't recognise. It went a bit weird, Mock the Week. I know you watch it all the time, don't you? But is it still funny? There's loads of youngish comedians that no one really knows. Yeah, I nearly called him Andrew Preview. It comes out. Mock the Week, it's full of people who they're not necessarily that funny anymore. It's probably why it's last series, isn't it? Dying on its arse because they just couldn't keep it going. Should have gone out in a blaze of glory and just got all the most dodgy comedians on earth on there. Load it with filth. It's finished now and just up with repeats, right? Been YouTubing a lot of Sissy and Ada recently. Absolutely superb stuff that. Again, still, it's possibly of its time, but still, I think anyone, not kids, but like my daughter could probably watch it and still get the humour in it. Roy Barraclough was superb in that. And Les Dawson. Les Dawson lived an absolutely incredible life, didn't he? He was lived in Paris for a while. He was playing piano in a brothel, all kinds of stuff. Just mad. But he's got a face that you could say was lived in. You could see every wrinkle on his face was a story to be told, and stories that he used to tell on a regular basis. Fantastic. Yeah, Sissy and Ada, fantastic, really are. You went to see the play about Les a few years ago, an hysterical wreck to me. I know it's not PC anymore, the mother-in-law jokes, but to be fair, apparently his mother-in-law absolutely loved him. She thought they were great. He had a great relationship with her, they got on well, they loved each other to bits. And she never ever took anything to heart. She just found him really funny. A good mother-in-law joke can be superb, brilliantly written. And also, he's a very, very intelligent man, Les Dawson, hugely intelligent. When he started doing his sort of the intelligent monologues that went off into a tangent, they were so well written. You could tell this a man of a hugely well-read man and a talented writer, plus a superb piano player. It takes a hell of a lot of skill to be able to play a piano badly, because you can't just ding, 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 otherwise no one would recognise what it is. You have to play it so it's recognisable with just a couple of notes here and there wrong. That in itself is an absolute huge skill and talent. It was brilliant. You were ached so badly from laughing. I can imagine that. Genuinely funny fella, so I can imagine his story would be superb as well. Oh, sorry I missed that. Sounds like my kind of thing. Used to see Roy Barraclough on the dole in the 80s signing on before he got his second chance in Corrie. Good acting in, like. Oh, it's starting to get a bit late, so we're going to have to go and check out
Kippers kicks ass.
Yeah, Mandy, you just got it there in time. Pond mysteriously turns bright pink in Hawaii as experts reveal why it's a cause for concern. Fascinated visitors are flocking to the pond, with volunteers saying they have never seen anything like it before. Though it may look fun, officials think the cause could be concerning. Flamingo piss.
Kippers kicks ass.
That's it. Flamingo piss. Curt, brusque, to the point. I think he has got a point there, though, hasn't he? It might be flamingo piss. You need commission as a prompter. You are prompting well. But you put me off my stride, because normally Kippers goes first. No, he doesn't, does he? Kippers or Jeff goes first. Horace always comes last. But anyway, he'll be annoyed now. Kippers will be annoyed they have to wait till the end. Unless maybe save the best till last. I might get away with saying that. Keep the best till last. Just watching him there to see if he's starting to sharpen any knives. So, you and a colleague in work in Liverpool used to go all sissy and Ada in the office. Like to see it. That's what we like to see. I've worked with many a woman who was like both of them combined. It's okay, Mandy. You know I'm only joking. Doesn't matter which order we go in, as long as we all turn up. Plus, I'm just delighted that I've been pressing buttons and things haven't exploded yet. And I've tried to amend the ending, because I know Steve mentioned how loud it was last week. I've no idea why that went ballistically loud. It was never that loud on the phone or whatever. Yeah. 4 boobs. Eh? Oh yeah. Sissy and Ada combined. Yes. No, just the two. But by the crivens, they were big lasses. Big buxom lasses. Whenever she goes to talk to you, you do the boob hitch. The boob hitch, to anyone that doesn't understand what that is. Fantastic. So funny. And that is face. Jesus Christ, yeah. Les Dawson's face. Unbelievable. Not in the same way like a Phil Cool or a Jim Carrey or something, but a very much lived in face. Bubic. Wasn't that a Croatian footballer? Didn't he play for AC Milan? AC Milan. There we go. There's got to be an ice cream shop in Milan called AC Milan. Got to be done. Broken jaw from boxing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was a boxer, wasn't he, as a youth? Nothing happened there, but there's been a blackout in Morecambe. Buttons. See, buttons being pressed everywhere causes all kinds of trouble. There's buttons. But I'm starting to get to that point where I need to go and have a lemsip and put my feet up. I'm shattered. Unfortunate mente. But it's been good. Another one where we've learned loads. Definitely, I always enjoy these series. And what surprised me was it last night. So how wrecked me head is. I use Opus Clip, which is an AI editing tool. I'll put the link to the stream in, and it just chops things into little bits, and I put them on as on YouTube as shorts. And I was surprised in just how many shorts it was able to come up with that were really interesting. It's been great. Goedenavond, Hadewig. Been to a couple of Morecambe and Wise plays as well. Yeah. The plays that Ernie wrote. The best bit, of course, you leveled up. Yeah. He's not going to sell much ice cream going at that speed. Again, one of the best jokes in the English language of all time. Every single dad who's ever lived since the 70s has used that joke on their kids. Every single one of us, we all have. It's within our DNA. I'm sure that's been passed down from. Even if Morecambe and Wise are never seen again, that joke will be passed down from generation to generation within the DNA. It doesn't even have to be told. It'll just be there straight away. It's our birthright. Yep, just in before bedtime. Did you manage to take the dogs for a pee, or is that after this? The audience was already laughing in the build up to it being said. I can imagine that everyone knows exactly what's coming, and it doesn't make it any less funny. But you know exactly what's going to happen. How after that, right? You've got that to look forward to. I think sometimes that's part of the build up it's part of it, isn't it? It's not always the destination; it's the journey. So you can do all the laughing, knowing exactly what's going to happen towards the end, but that's what makes it funny. Just getting there, and then eventually, bang, off you go. There's the punchline, and everyone can throw themselves on the floor. Brilliant. I love Morecambe and Wise. Love loads of stuff from back then in the 70s. Cannonball. Again, they don't really get much of a reputation these days, but I loved them when I was a kid. And if you go back and watch, I think it's on YouTube, there's a sketch that they did on an airplane, and it's all physical comedy. It is as good as anything that like sort of Laurel and Hardy did physical wise. Absolutely superb. And you think, well, just they were shit end of the pier entertainers. They weren't. They were really good. The actors playing them looked so much like them. I seen the posters for it. They were up on Moorfields train station, and I recognised. I'm sure they've played them in TV films, haven't they? Sure they have. But yeah, absolute ringers for them, and sounded like them as well. It's incredible. But again, I think maybe for people of a certain age, them voices and them looks and the gestures and everything are so part of us that it must be fairly easy for an actor to just drag that out because we're so used to seeing it. Yeah. Sounds like another great night out that I've missed. Missed loads of these, haven't I? But I'm glad you've seen them anyway. Someone needed to, even if I didn't. I missed the Mighty Boosh at the Echo Arena, which I wanted to go and see, and I should have just made the effort to go and see them. I could have done. I didn't want to get dressed up like the Hitcher. Didn't want to have to paint myself green to go and watch something. You know what I mean? Yeah, the one when Bommy couldn't get a pint was good. Yeah, I loved all that. Fantastic. And what was the one with the Adam Ant was on one of the episodes, and he did the sketch with him where he was a Spanish dancer or gunslinger or both. That was brilliant. Adam Ant was superb in that. I have to go back and start watching some of them. It's all about the 70s. It's where all the good stuff came from. Honest. That is starting to get pure moody out there now. And I've got the window open because obviously it's dead hot. We had the umbrella in the back garden on a really heavy stand that's fell over. Proper end of the storm thing that turned up. Wheelie bins everywhere. Marvellous. So yeah, we have to start tidying up and getting ready to go because I am starting to lose the energy and the plot everywhere. We've hit some real highlights. Mandy eventually levelling up, obviously after crying it in for about 2 hours. Flamingo piss. It's a particular highlight for me, that one. And loads of 70s comedy. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? Marvellous. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me as always. I will set another one up for Sunday. Sunday will be the next one. Yeah, it did take long enough, but you know, you did plenty of chatting, so it was well deserved. Yeah, so thank you very much.
All right, let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
And that's that.